The government plays a pivotal role in formulating and enforcing food safety regulations, establishing robust inspection systems, and promoting awareness among consumers. The industry, on the other hand, also prioritizes food safety as a core value, implementing stringent quality control measures, investing in research and development, and fostering a culture for continuous improvement. Academia, research institutions, and training organizations have a crucial role to play in building the capacity and competence of our safety professionals. Achieving these goals requires a dedicated and competent workforce that understand the intricacies of food safety regulations, practices, and technologies. Today, we will also have the distinct pleasure of felicitating the 25 selected professionals of the All India Cadre of Safe Food Business Professional Batch of 22-23. These individuals have been chosen through a rigorous All India competition jointly conducted by NIFTIM and NFSI. Their selection is a testament to their knowledge, skills, and dedication to ensuring safety of our food supply. We believe that these skilled young professionals, through their expertise and commitment, will contribute to a safer, healthier, and more prosperous nation. The Safe Food Cadre batch of 2023 represent a vanguard of a new generation of food safety professionals who will lead us into a future where safe practice are the norm rather than the exception. We are here to foster an open dialogue on the need of our capability development in safe food business. This dialogue must continue beyond this ceremony. Together, we can identify challenges, explore innovative solutions, and promote best practice to ensure the highest standards of food safety across the country. I urge all of you present in this room to seize this opportunity to engage in a meaningful discussions. Before I conclude, I would like to welcome you all once again. Your presence signifies your commitment to the cause of safe food and your recognition of the importance of capability development in this domain. I extend my warmest congratulations to All India Cadre of Safe Food Business Professional Batch of 22-23 on their accession and commend their dedication to upholding the highest standards of food safety. May this event serve as a catalyst for change, propelling us towards a stronger and safer food business landscape. I wish you all a productive and enlightening conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hemant, for your welcome address. Now we now have the privilege of Mr. Suresh Nayan, and we request him to address us on the role of industry as a partner in capability building. Mr. Suresh Nayan, please.
Thank you, Anirudh, and good morning, Mr. Sanoj Kumar Jha, Additional Secretary, Ministry of Food Processing Industries, Professor Prabhat Nema, Director of NIFTIM, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished dignitaries, many of whom I recognize, ladies and gentlemen, and of course the awardees for today's event. Life doesn't exist without food, and we all know it. And I think we can do without our iPhones for 24 hours. We can't do without food for 24 hours, unless we are on some particular regime that entails that. If that is the case, then the industry itself is extremely vital and important to the well-being of the Indian population. The food processing industry today accounts for almost 10% of the GDP of the country. It's one of the largest employers. India is veritably and undisputably the largest producer of milk in the world. It is also either the second or the third largest producer of fruits and vegetables in the world. And yet, sadly, only about 10% of it gets processed and ready for consumption by the population. Hence, when we have problems in the value chain in terms of prices of commodities going up by 5 times and 6 times, we have only ourselves to look to, both the public and the private sector to look to find solutions to this problem. And at the core is talent and skill. We can build the best factories, we can build the best cold chain distribution, we can have the best retail outlets, we can even have the best kirana stores. And yet, if we do not have the talent that makes for the product to begin with, there is very little that can be achieved. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I want to preface my address to you all today with the importance of the food processing industry. It's very significant that we have one of the senior dignitaries of the food processing industry here with us today, as we have also other dignitaries responsible for various aspects of food quality and safety in this country. To feed a country of 140 crore people would mean that we not only have to have food security, but we also have to have food safety. Because without food safety, food security is only an illusion. So we have gathered here today for the conference on capability enhancement for safe food business and for the accession ceremony of the All India Cadre of Safe Food Business Professionals. We recognize here the top 25 professionals who have completed the All India Cadre of Safe Food Business Professionals program, commonly referred to as SFC. I am also delighted to see, by just looking around the room, and as a strong votary for diversity, it is fantastic to see that the majority of today's awardees are actually women. A round of applause to every woman in this room for the role that you have played and that you will play in ensuring the food safety of this country. The All India Cadre of Safe Food Business Professionals is an initiative, and yet a small initiative, to build an exclusive cadre of safe food business leaders in India. It is a joint program conceived and designed by experts from the National Institute of Food Technology, Entrepreneurship and Management, as we call NIFTEM, and the Nestle Food Safety Institute, NFSI, to enhance the competence of food safety professionals. I am thankful to the industry colleagues who joined the initiative for the mentoring and coaching of the selected students in a 2-week residential program. The coveted batch of 25 SFC professionals who have been selected from over 500 candidates from all over India are now ready to enter or continue their journey in the food industry. These professionals have cleared multiple stages of rigorous selection. I am told that their entrance test alone had 6,000 questions. That is probably longer than even the competitive exams in terms of the number of questions you need to answer. But that tells you the rigor that has been put in, and have been mentored and trained and are now available for the industry to be the torchbearers of international food safety, regulatory and trade knowledge. We need to remember that in this interlinked world, food quality, standards and safety are global. Nobody wants to come to our country, to our beloved motherland, and say the food that I'm consuming is substandard or not safe. And therefore, we have to comply with international standards. What a company like Nestle can bring to the table is these international standards, is these global standards of what it is contemporarily made to be as far as food safety and food quality is concerned. But we need much more. Today, more than 2/3 of the Indian population is in the working age of 20 to 59 years. This demographic dividend is shifting towards better work culture and nature of the job, where skill is an important element. I believe the Government of India also has a skill development ministry focusing on this aspect, because if this country has to be the third largest, the second largest economy in the world one day, it will be only on the strength of the skills that our people possess, the commitment that our people possess, and the quality that intrinsically they bring to the table. There was a time when some countries were considered to be inferior quality. Today, they're talked about as being top of the line in terms of quality. It is that stage that we have to achieve as far as many of our industries is concerned, and food certainly is part of that. As we move ahead, the onus lies on the industry more than ever before to be a partner in this progress. Food safety constitutes one of the most fundamental and vital aspects of any food operation and is the backbone of consumer trust. As I mentioned before, you can have the greatest factories, you can have the greatest agrons, you can have the greatest machines, the greatest extruders, and yet if you do not have the fundamental business of having food science and technology and food safety, that product is inedible as far as the consumer is concerned. That's the hard reality of what a food product is. So you can experiment with different shampoos and soaps and detergents, but you will never experiment with food because it goes down your gullet. And what happens to it after that, only God can tell, and the food scientist and the food safety expert can guarantee. And that is as true as can be. The consumer awareness on food safety is also going up and is one of their major concerns. Food safety is a shared responsibility between robust regulatory teams at center and state levels, aware and educated consumer, academia, and responsible industry. What we need are numerous initiatives of the kind that we have today between NIFTEM and NFSI. The industry needs to come together because we are talking not just about the processed food industry, we're also talking about millions of street food vendors who are selling food to a majority of the population every single day. Who looks at them? And what kind of food quality, good food quality and safety can they bring about? We as a company in our own small way, Nestle, has contributed to the training of about 42,000 of these food vendors across the country. There are more than 10 million. So to get these 10 million to be trained in basics of food safety is an essential element to ensure that every time you have your Golgappa, you're not worried that you're going to fall sick. And that is going to happen when the evangelism of food safety reaches the door of these retailers and of these food vendors so that we can truly say that we are world class in terms of the quality of food that is being served in the out of home. It is multifaceted food safety, especially in the context of complex modern food chains. It encompasses standards and regulations, risk assessment, communication and management practices, analytical methods to address challenges posed by pathogens, contaminants, toxicants, additives, allergens, amongst others, to protect the health of the consumer. So apart from the mirch masala that you add to your food, you're also taking in a lot of these elements that I talked about. Who is going to determine that these do not form part of the food or the food chain, or indeed that the food is safe for consumption? It is these food safety ambassadors, people with the knowledge and the competence of science, of technology, of facts, not of opinions, who are going to determine whether this food is going to be safe. And that is why I'm delighted today that we have 25 of these evangelists, these ambassadors coming out into industry. The regulator, FSSAI, has been playing a critical role in setting standards and regulations for the food industry. FSSAI has taken a range of initiatives to connect with citizens in multiple ways for creating a food safety culture in this country. FSSAI, in fact, initiated the Food Safety Training and Certification, the FOSTAC program as it's called. It was an initiative very ably to enhance the food safety culture by providing training to personnel involved in various food businesses. This needs to be multiplied many times, manifold times. And that means that there has to be a stronger partnership between the agency, between the regulator, and between the industry as well. Academia has also played a crucial role in capability building for safe food business by providing necessary knowledge and skills in the area of food safety. The industry also takes an active role in capability enhancement for safe food business, and the participation has to increase. Industry must invest in training and development programs, not just for their own employees, but also for its vendors, suppliers, and for all the young talent to overall increase the skill level of the food industry. By working together, industry, academia, and the government can help identify and nurture high potential individuals and create a workforce capable of driving safe food practices across the country and the region. The All India Cadre for Safe Food Business Program is an excellent example of industry taking an active role in capability building. The program provides specialized training to professionals in the food industry and give them exposure to international regulations and trade. The top 25 selected professionals who have completed this program are a testament to the success of this program. We are in the need of food safety influencers within the companies, leaders who at all levels in the organization have the capacity to influence food safety culture and behavior across the organization. One compromise is a compromise too many in food safety, and that culture takes time and needs to be seeped into every single organization that manufactures food. I would urge us all, and through us, our teams, to become the influencers and champions of food safety. I take this opportunity to congratulate the top 25 selected professionals who have completed this program and wish them all the very best in their future food safety influencer endeavors. They play a crucial role in the enhancement of food quality and safety in this country. Let us remember the future of humanity and of our planet lies in our hands, especially the younger generation who will pass the torch to future generations. We have mapped the road to development, have taken the few steps today, and it will be for all of us to ensure that the journey is successful and its gains irreversible. Thank you all very much for your patient listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Narayanan, for providing the insight into in providing safe food to everyone, and also the importance of the safe food business professionals. Thank you once again. Now may I invite Professor Prabhat K. Nima to enlighten us on the significance of public-private partnership in capability enhancement. Professor Nima, please.
Thank you, Anirudhji. Honorable dignitaries on the desk, Sri Sanuj Kumar Jha, sir, Additional Secretary of Ministry of Food Processing Industries, Government of India. Sri Suresh Narayanan, sir, Chairman and Managing Director of Nestle. Sri Hemant Seth, sir, Dr. Aniruddha, sir, and I could see there are many more dignitaries of the desk. Our earlier Vice Chancellor, Dr. Chindi Vasudevappa, sir, who was also very instrumental in organizing this program at NIPTEM. Anup sir, senior officers from Nestle, and I would say Bhism Pitama of this program, Dave sir, madam. And in the second row, I could see that many of our NIPTEM faculties have joined here, who were the backbone of this whole program. And I think they deserve a lot of appreciation, because they work day and night. I could see them when I joined NIPTEM to make this program successful. In fact, more than everything, it was the program that was made successful by the participants from all corners of the country. I think about more than 1,000 people applied for this program, and you are the luckiest 25 who could reach to this stage and have become the business leader, first business leader batch of India. And I would say, I was discussing this thing earlier, that this is first of its kind program in the whole world, where the emphasis is given on the food safe business leadership through various inputs given by the leaders of the industry and from the associated industries. So very good morning, everybody. Today I am here standing to discuss and share my ideas about the public-private partnership on capability enhancement, how we can do it, and particularly in the area of food processing. Of course, this is not a new concept. In other sectors, like in IT sector, you see, there are many such partnerships are existing where industries are joining hands with the organizations, with the institutions. But in food processing, this was lacking. And I think this is the very humble beginning, first of its kind, that we have started in developing collaborations with the leading institutions, with the leading industries partner, and developing course where business leaders will be produced. In fact, I understand that leaders are not produced; they are born. It's a intrinsic quality. Okay, and we only have to search them. We only have to polish them to bring out their capabilities. And I think this program has done very justice and polish all the qualities of the selected students who have become the business leader, and formally they are going to get awarded here in today's function. So what we understand by collaborations, I think these collaborations are very, very important from the point of view that each partner, whether it's a government partner or the private partner, they may not have complete infrastructure or complete capabilities to bring out these qualities or take the things forward. So each will have their challenges, and these collaborations are very much essential, maybe for specific goals, because there are requirements for the infrastructure, there are requirements for talent, experience, and we have to see that how these things, either from the industry or from the institutions, are brought together, joined together to result in something good for the societies, how we can serve the society, how we can take it forward. That is the goal of any collaboration that may exist in the country. And in fact, yesterday I was attending that NEP program, National Education Program at Bharat Mandapam in Pragati Maidan. There also they were emphasizing that we need to develop the skill. We don't need to create the graduates, simple graduates who are not employable, but we need to develop people who are employable, who have the skill, who have the competency. The competency is very important. You may be a graduate, you may be postgraduate, PhD, but you may not be competent to be employed by the industries. Now the industries, when we are interacting with the industries, many times we are finding that during the placement they say that your student is not competent, they are not coming up to the mark. It means in spite of studying 4 years or 4+2 years, if they are not coming up to the expectation of the industry, it means they need something more. And what is more is the competency. Okay, so competency is something which we have to focus upon. We have to create someone who can come up to the expectation of the industry, who can fulfill the requirements, who can fulfill the need of the industry. And I think I was just discussing that like many other sectors, for example, the IT sector, where industries have set up institutions in collaborative modes with IITs and many other such great institutions. Why not food industry leaders who are in the industry also come forward and set up institutions like NIFTIM in collaborative mode? It should not be purely government, it should not be purely private, but it should be in the collaborative mode, so that we have people who are employable, who have the skill, needful skill, who can be quickly be brought in the use of the industry, who can take this sector in the forward directions. Because now time is changing, the concept is changing, the technology is changing, and if we keep on teaching the regular things which we have been doing, I think we will be left behind. The country is looking for becoming a world leader. So world leader cannot be become only in few sectors. It has to be in all the sectors, particularly in India, where more than 70% is the agriculture-based economy. As Sir has also said that 10% of the GDP of the country comes from the agriculture and food sector. It's the largest employment providing sector in the country. So if this sector is ignored, I think we cannot see India as the global leader in the coming days. So there is a need that we have more such programs. I think this is the very unique programs, and Today, as you all are going to get the formal award of the certificate cadre program, so it's not the end of your responsibility. It's not the end of your course completion, but it is the beginning of your responsibility. You people have to take the food sector, not an industry, not one industry, but the whole sector forward. You have to lead it. And you don't have to become the manager, but you have to become the leader. I think you have got enough input from all corners that is required to become a successful leader. NIFTEM, I think everybody now knows NIFTEM. In 2012, we started a program BTech, that is Food Technology and Management, where apart from food technology, management was also made a part of it. Every semester you have certain courses of the management, so that by the time you complete your 4 years BTech program, you not only become technically strong, but also have the managerial skill to run a program successful. This was also one of its kind program in the whole country. Similarly, in many other institutions, they are also going to follow it. But there is a very unfortunate scenario also, that so many institutions have started food technology, food processing, food engineering programs, but many of them do not have the required infrastructure which can give the enough exposure and experience to the students who are passing out from there. So I think that we have to see. Another thing is that apart from food technology and managerial, what you need is the competency, confidence. Okay. So if you undergo these programs, I think the confidence will be built up. And when you integrate with different facets, because it's a very competitive market nowadays, you need to understand every problem of the industry. If you are good technologist, if you are a good manager, I think that does not lead you to a good successful entrepreneur. Okay, so you have to be a risk taker, you have to be a problem solver. I think one good thing that you have been taught in this program, how to learn, because everything cannot be taught in 2 weeks program. I could see that many of the speakers who came, they were very encouraging, they were very motivating the people and teaching how to learn. If you know how to learn, then I think your problem is solved. You have to keep on learning. In fact, how to learn is more important than the learning itself. So, because every day you are going to face new problems, and in the future, the technology is changing. Every day you are coming across with the new problems. So you should know how to solve it. So once you do that, I think you are a competent person. You are a person who can be trusted upon with the responsibility by the industry, by the government, and such type of collaborations are very much required to enhance the capabilities of the people. So students, after completing, I think these programs are very much required in the country. In fact, I was discussing before this meeting that such programs are not present even in the countries abroad. So there are requirements. If we can do it, India can show them a path forward, that beyond food technology or food management, what is there? So I think the business leadership in food sector is the future, and you are the first one who are going to lead the all following batches as well. So I wish you all the best and congratulate and hope that you will bring a sustainable change in the food sector, which will take the India forward and make all of us proud in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Professor Nima, for enlightening us on the role of mentoring and bringing out the best from an individual to be a leader and take greater responsibilities. Now, may I request Mr. Sanuj Kumar Jha to please deliver the inaugural address.
Good morning, everyone. The dignitaries on the dais, Mr. Suresh, Mr. Nima, Mr. Hemant, and Mr. Anirudh, and I can see other dignitaries of the dais. You have heard the views of Mr. Nema and Mr. Narayanan. You would hear the other very important sessions subsequently. First of all, let me congratulate the safe food professionals who have been selected through a rigorous process and who in future be the brand ambassadors for the sector. This sector is ever emerging, but the definition of food safety is not something which can be cast in stone today, and I mean that is what would be. In fact, I have been in the ministry for 1.5 years, and I have been seeing this sector grow. I mean, in a big way. In the last decade or so, we have grown immensely, and in terms of our exports, what we have been witnessing is that of the whole agricultural products, a large chunk is of food, of processed food, which has gone up, in fact, more than 20, and it's likely to go up further. And after the COVID, in fact, a lot of countries are looking forward to having a regime wherein they can procure, they can have a system that they would have food security in their place. In fact, a lot of countries are in touch with Indian government that they want to procure, and they want to ensure that in times of difficulties like COVID or something else of that kind, if that at all comes in future, they would have a secure system of food. But I mean, there are a lot of inherent challenges. Many perceive, I mean, none of the countries would import any food from us unless they satisfy a given requirement. I mean, every country has got a different requirement. Mr. Dave is here. I mean, the basic comes from Codex Alimentarius, but there are a lot of other standards which are not even codified. Different countries have got different norms, and in fact, in many cases, they have got much more stringent norms than what Codex has. I was in commerce about 10 years back, and I was handling negotiations in WTO, and I was also handling some part of Codex, that standards that were being handled by the Ministry of Commerce. While negotiations were taking place, you won't believe, I mean, the countries, there are two aspects. One is food security, food safety is one, but it's also linked to trade. A lot of countries have been coming up with regulations related to food safety, not only for purpose of food safety, but also for trade maybe. But I mean, as far as we are concerned, if we want to export to any country, be it Europe, be it America, be it Africa, any other country in the world, we need to comply with their standards. There is no way out. I mean, unless we ensure that we conform to their regulations, we'll not be able to do it. You would have heard and you would hear in future that a lot of our consignments often they get dispatched from here, they get cleared from our authorities, but they get stuck up in say, for example, Canada, maybe different parts of Europe, supposedly for not complying with our food safety norms, their food safety norms. So the basic requirement would be we should know which country requires what. We should be capable enough, our team, our professionals like you and a lot of others who are in the sector, they need to be aware of regulations of different countries, how we need to ensure that we comply with that. Unless we do that, I mean, will not be able to grow in terms of our exports. Not only as regards exports, FSSAI has been coming up with new regulations every day. The norms are getting stringent, maybe more stringent. There are firms which keep on representing to us, to FSSAI, to Ministry of Health and other organizations, that the norms are getting more and more stringent. My hunch is they will despite, I mean, what is being represented, the norms would keep on getting more and more stringent. The food safety, like some of us would be aware, the food safety is not something that is one of the colleagues talked about Golgappas. yes, Golgappas, many of us, in fact, most of us would like. But there are a lot of places, lot of parts, a large part of the country may not be having the hygiene standards that we would like. Can we reach those standards? Golgappa is one. There would be so many other foods where we would like our standards to be higher. We have been hearing that a lot of people, lot of kids, adults get infected, and in fact, the fatalities have also taken place in different parts of the country. So not only for the purpose of exports, but also for our domestic purpose, for our health issues, we need to be sure that the food that we eat, the food that we trade, food that we export, they have to conform to the a minimum standard. The standard may get higher for exports, but at least for domestic consumption, we need to have them very high. There are other experts who know much more than that. There will be technical sessions. I won't get into that, but I just want to tell the professionals, the new professionals which have got selected, that the challenges are not very small. The challenges are big, and challenges would continue to grow. And as the time goes by, it would get varied. So we need to be prepared for that. We need to keep on updating our knowledge. We need to keep on educating our colleagues, the industry, so that we conform to those standards. The government, including the Ministry of Food Processing, has been taking different steps. There are different schemes for capacity building. NIFTEM is one of them. Mr. Nema talked about that. And you'd get to know in other segments also. We have got different schemes, somewhat like something called Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Prime Minister formulation of microprocessing enterprises. There is a Ministry of Skill Development which imparts training on food. Maybe you need to spread the word that there are a lot of schemes of which the advantage can be taken off, and we can all work together for having a safe food for our consumption, for exporting to other countries. All the best, the new professionals. I hope you would be ambassadors of change, ambassadors of taking it forward. Thank you.
Sir, can I make a point to the dignitaries? A very, very important point, very brief. Half a minute.
Okay, please.
See, my name is Narendra Jalan. I wanted to bring out a very unique practice in the trade, that lot of traders import expired or near expiry food from abroad, and they sell it here, and they don't write expiry date on it. They cite repacked on this date. They simply write that. So this is another practice which needs the attention of the ministry and regulatory body. That's all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I think this is being addressed by the FSSAI. This matter was taken up earlier also. We have taken a note of your point, please. Thank you, Mr. Sanoj, for your sharing valuable insights with us. You emphasize the importance of safe food and meeting the standard requirements, not only for the domestic market, but also for the international market. We are deeply grateful for your presence today. Now, may I request Mr. Suresh Narayanan, if you could please hand over a green certificate to Mr. Jha, please, as a token of appreciation. Please. A round of applause, please. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. So, a vote of thanks. We extend heartfelt thanks for joining our Capability Enhancement for Safe Food Business Conference. Your active participation and insightful contribution have been invaluable. Together, we aspire to build a safer and healthier food industry. Let's continue the journey of progress and cooperation. We are grateful for your presence. With this, we come to an end to our inaugural session. Now, may I request the audience and everyone to join us for a cup of tea, please, outside. We'll join back again in another 20 minutes, please. Thank you.
Good morning once again, everyone. So we'll start with our next session, which is on felicitation and award ceremony. Before we get into the award ceremony, would request Mr. Dave to come on the dais, and we will request Mr. Dave to deliver a brief note about the whole program, since you were the heart behind the whole program. Mr. Dave doesn't need an introduction, but let me tell you that he has a total professional experience of 47 years, of which more than 37 years is in agri-trade and food safety. He's a senior international expert to WHO, the FAO, and ITC on various food safety related capacity building programs. In the past, he was chairman of Codex Alimentarius Commission and advisor to Food Safety Standards Authority of India. He has also served as a diplomat in the mission of India to the European Union at Brussels. Mr. Dave, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Anirudh. Thank you. Thank you so much. Namaste. Good morning, all of you. It's such a great pleasure to come back to this place once again to see the culmination of the program on safe food cadre. You know, some of you or many of you still don't know how the program started. I'll be very brief. It was actually just a fluke that it started. I don't want to give thanks to COVID, but it is actually because of COVID that this program started. When we were under complete lockdown and we had nothing to do, we could not even go out of the house. And I didn't know what to do. घर में बैठे बोर हो रहे थे. This idea just cropped up कि कुछ ऐसा कुछ करना चाहिए. Need to create a cadre. Why this cadre? Is because we want a team of people, a pool of experts to take the country forward in the area of safe food business. वो कैसे pool create किया जाए? Why do we do it first of all? Why do we need it? To be honest, most people from the industry who are sitting here, and I've had the occasion of talking to them, where do they go for their selection for their people? They go to NIFTEM, they go to CFTRI, they go to NIN, they go to IIT. But do you think that we have only these 4 or 5 institutions in our country? And do you think that the cream of people comes only from here? We have a cream throughout the country. And I have evidence to prove it because I've been a part of quiz competitions in India and in Asia. Except for NIFTEM, students from CFTRI or NIN or UICT, Mumbai or IIT, they did not reach the finals. Who reached the finals? Were students from colleges you would not have heard their names. Like Gokhale Memorial Girls College, Kolkata. किसने नाम सुना है? JCT College of Engineering and Technology. किसने नाम सुना है उनका? So the idea of creating this program was to give an equal opportunity to the best of the people in our country. The industry needs best people, and the best of the students need a good career. So it's a win-win situation for both. It is going to help the country in safe food business, not only for the domestic market. And Mr. Jalan, you mentioned about products being imported into the country. we want to export also the best. We want the best for our people. So we really needed to create a platform which provides a partnership between the industry and the best of the talents in the country. And this program has sought to achieve that. And this has happened in the first year of this program. We need to take this program forward. How are we going to do that is something which people have to decide. You've heard about our speakers in the previous session, what they had to say about this program. इतिहास अगर लिखना है तो इतिहास बनाना पड़ेगा पहले. इन लोगों ने इतिहास बना दिया. These people have created history. These 25 people. अब इंडस्ट्री को इतिहास लिखना है. You have to come together. You have to come forward. The industry needs to come together to take this program forward with educational institutions. It has to be a collective effort. अब इतिहास लिख दिया, इतिहास बना दिया, अब इतिहास लिखने का टाइम. Please join this program to take it forward. The country needs it. The region needs this. We need to expand to the region. 10 days ago, I was in Mauritius doing training of the government officials on food safety in Mauritius. I told them about this program. They are so excited about it. They said, can we be a part of it? So we want to take IORA group of countries to take this program forward. You can set this as an example for the whole world, for other regions. Let's do that. Before we start the felicitation ceremony, I would like to congratulate all these 25 people sitting here. So proud of you. Please keep it going. Please take it forward. And please take this to the next generation. You have shown the way. You're the leaders. Make other leaders now. That's what will take our country forward. And what do we used to say? Chak de India. You know, when this program was being conducted and we selected the people. See, you people were taking, the industry people were taking from 2 or 3 states. People from different 2 or 3 states. But this time we have got a big team coming from several states. Starting from Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, UP, Delhi, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala. See, we have people throughout the country. Industry, please realize this. Better late than never. Okay, I'll stop here because we have to start the rest of the program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Dave, for showing the way to the new way of working and the food safety professionals who have been identified in the entire process for a new journey. Now, may I request Ms. Latika Singh from Nestle R&D to initiate the felicitation and the award ceremony. Latika, please.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chonkar. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and all the bright young minds present here, a very warm welcome to the grand ceremony celebrating excellence and achievement in the world of safe food business. Today, we are gathered here to honor and recognize 25 exceptional young professionals who have been handpicked for the prestigious All India Safe Food Business cadre of 22 and 23. Before we commence the felicitation ceremony, let me take a moment to set the stage for this momentous occasion. This batch, the All India cadre, is a testament to the dedication and hard work of all these young professionals who have shown, one, exemplary skills in clearing the rigorous selection process, and two, have made a commitment to lead in every capacity possible to champion the cause of safe food business. To commemorate this occasion, we have even compiled a directory for this batch, which gives a brief overview of each of the candidates' journey till date. I would encourage you to go through the summary of each professional's contribution in the food industry domain till date, and I'm sure they will be happy to share their journey further when you talk to them over lunch. Let's turn our attention to the stars, the 25 young professionals who have been selected for this cadre. As I announce each name, I would request the awardee to kindly come forward, receive the certificate from our esteemed guests, and I would expect everyone to hold their applauses until all the names have been called out. We'll be going in the alphabetical order, but a pause here. Before we begin, I would like to invite Sri Sanjay Dave back to the dais to make a special announcement. So over to you.
Okay, it's time to announce the gold medal. Yes, it was a tough selection process, a very rigorous selection process. Believe me, इतना rigorous selection process शायद नहीं देखा होगा कहीं भी. I'm honest about it. It was a teamwork. Nestle, Food Safety Institute, and NIFTEM came together. They took this program forward. The first stage was the objective type exam on a Kaun Banega Crorepati model. Then subjective, then little mentoring, then group discussion and interviews. It wasn't easy. It took almost 8 months to complete this process. But all the candidates were scanned inside out for their competence, for their memory, for their speed, for writing skills, for negotiation skills, for how do you participate in a meeting, and finally, how do you face an interview. And this cream has come from there. Best of the best. You are the best. मेरी नकल निकालते हैं. कौन निकालते हैं? Okay, so we have this gold medal. Who is going to get that? We have people, as I said before, we have people coming from different states. First of all, just give me a guess. A boy or a girl? Good, because more than 80% of the selected are the girls. But you never know. We have people from Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, also UP, Delhi, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. Which state that person comes from? Any guess? Anyone wants to make a guess? Oh, you are raising a hand. Okay. Yes, Pratika.
Yes, sir. The person who's winning the gold medal will be the person of India, not the state.
Wow. I like that. I like that. Yes. Person is from India, and that should be the spirit. Excellent. Very good. So we should announce the name, right? But you know, when the selection process was going on, there were candidates who did exceedingly well in the interviews. There were candidates who did exceedingly well in the group discussion stage. And the panel that reviewed them, you know, this panel comprised of, yes, I was one of them, the smallest of them. But then we had the former Vice Chancellor of NIFTEM, Dr. Professor Chindi Vasudevappa. Then we had a visiting professor to Harvard, Dr. Shobha Kulshresht. Then we had my friend, Mr. Anup Mudgal, former diplomat, he was former ambassador of India. And the chairman of the interview panel was the former chairman of UPSC. इससे अच्छा पैनल और क्या हो सकता है बेस्ट लॉट सिलेक्ट करने के लिए. And these 25 of them have a score range. The difference is only 4 marks. So the difference is of decimal points. Just decimal points. Even some people who were after 25, there are people from Nestle, there are people from other places, who were just a notch below the 25th candidate. Doesn't mean that she was incompetent. She was equally competent. But सिर्फ 4 number के difference में all these 25 people are there. So the person who gets the gold medal was not the best in the interview. But this person did very well in the group discussion. And therefore, scored better. I think it's time to announce the name, right? Everybody is getting impatient. All right, here is the gold medal. Do we announce it now? Okay. Then we have to invite the guests to come here to present the certificates and the gold medal.
Right, absolutely. So the suspense is still on. But yeah, I would request our CMD Shri Suresh Narayanan sir to please come forward. Director NIFTEM Professor Prabhat Nima to please come forward to hand out the certificates and the gifts. And first and foremost, the gold medal. Yes. Can we have the slides up as well? Atiba could not join us today. Yes. She has joined us virtually as well. I would.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We have a brother Yasir Kamal who will accept the gold medal sponsored by Sri Sanjay Dave himself, along with a certificate and gift. Atiba is now a product development manager, FitBakes Limited, who has done her BTech in food technology and MTech food technology from Jamia Hamdard, New Delhi. Congratulations, Atiba.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Next, moving on, I would invite Aditi Singh to come forward. Aditi is a research scholar who is pursuing her PhD from National Forensic University, Gandhinagar. She has done her BSc in food technology from University of Delhi and MSc food technology in forensic food analysis from National Forensic Science University, Gandhinagar. The applause should continue. We have a whole young professional group here. I should hear the applause continuing as each one comes ahead. Next, I invite Aditi Sharma. She's a technical officer at FSSAI who has done her BSc Food Technology from Bhaskaracharya College of Applied Sciences, University of Delhi, and MSc Food Technology from Guru Nanak Dev University, Amritsar. Next, I invite Ankur Luthra. He's an assistant professor who has done his BTech Food Technology from Chaudhry Devi Lal University, Sirsa, followed by MTech Food Technology from NIFTEM Kundli. He's currently pursuing his PhD from Guru Jambeshwar University of Science and Technology, Hisar. Next, Ashish Singh. He is a territory sales in charge at Amul, who has done his BTech Food Technology and Management from NIFTEM Kundli. Next, I invite Bhavna BK. She's a senior research fellow, CSIR CFTRI, who has done her BE Technology from RV College of Engineering, Bangalore, and then MTech Biotechnology from VIT University, Vellore. She's currently pursuing her PhD in food technology from CFTRI, Mysore. Next, I invite Chavi Kaushik. She is a quality assurance officer at Nestle India's Samalkha factory, who has done her BTech Food Technology from Jamia Hamdard, New Delhi. Next, I invite Dharani Sinha SG. She's a senior QA executive at ITC Limited, who has done her BTech Food Technology and Management from NIFTEM Kundli. Next, I invite Divyanshi Yadav. She's a senior quality executive at Diageo India. She has done her BTech in biotechnology from Integral University, Lucknow, and MTech in bioinformatics from Delhi Technology University. Next, I invite Ipshita Datta. She's a food technologist who has done her BTech in food technology from Jamia Hamdard and MTech in food safety and quality management from NIFTEM Kundli. Next, I invite Madhu Sharma. She's a food technologist who has done her BTech and MTech in food technology management from NIFTEM Kundli. Next, I invite Mathurya IK. She's a food technologist who has done her BTech Food Technology from Anna University, Chennai, and executive course in Food Regulatory Affairs from IGMPI, Delhi. Next, I invite Mayur Raghunath Kadam. He's an associate safety regulatory at Reliance Retail Limited. He has done his BTech Food Technology from Shram Shakti College of Food Technology, Maldad, Maharashtra, and MTech Food Science and Technology from NIFTEM, Thanjavur. Next, I invite Mohammad Khizar Khan Bahmani. He's an aspiring entrepreneur who has done his BSc Agriculture from Lovely Professional University, Punjab, and MBA in Agri-Business Management from Dr. Y.S. Parmar University of Horticulture and Forestry, Solan. Next, I invite Ojasvi Upal. He's a policy fellow in regulatory at Good Food Institute. He has done his BTech Food Technology from Amity University, Noida, and MSc Food Safety, Food Law and Regulatory Affairs from Netherlands. Next, I invite Palak Arora, entrepreneur and founder of Satguru Superfoods. She has done her BTech Food Technology and Management from NIFTEM, Kundli. Next, I invite Pooja Panchal. She's a technical officer at FSSAI who has done her BSc Honours Food and Nutrition from Maharaja Sayaji Rao University of Baroda and MSc Food Technology from National Forensic Science University, Gandhinagar. Next, I invite Preeti Dhiman. She's a senior officer quality assurance at Nestle India's Sananand factory. She has done her BSc Food Technology from Delhi University and MSc Food Science and Technology from Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi. Next, I invite Pritika. She's an analyst at Quality Council of India and has done her BTech Food Technology from JCT College of Engineering and Technology, Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, and has done her BTech in Food and Nutritional Biotechnology from SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Kanchipuram, Tamil Nadu. Next, I invite Priyanka Jain. She's a food analyst and technical manager at KDMT Laboratory and has done her BSc Chemistry Honours, Food Science and Quality Control from IEHE, Barkatullah University, Bhopal, and MSc in Food Technology Management from MOP Vaishnav College for Women, University of Madras. Next, I invite Priyanka Sharma. She's working in Technical and Regulatory Affairs, Marico Limited, and has done her BSc Honours Food Technology from Bhaskarachara College of Applied Sciences, New Delhi, and MSc in Food Science and Technology from CCS, Haryana Agriculture University, Hisar. Next, I invite Radhika Raj Purohit. She is a food technologist who has done her BSc Biology from MB College of Science, Mohanlal Sukhadia University, Udaipur, and MSc Food Technology with a specialization in food forensic analysis from National Forensic Science University, Gandhinagar. Next, I invite Shravya Jain. She is a technical officer at FSSAI and has done her BTech Food Science and Technology from University of Agricultural Sciences, Bangalore, and is currently pursuing MSc Food Safety and Quality Management through distance learning. Next, I invite Shubhangi Rao. She's a food technologist, BTech Food Technology from Amity University and MBA in Food and Agribusiness Management from NIFTEM, Kundli. And in the end, we have Tushti Jain. She's a food technologist who has completed her BTech in Food Technology and Management from NIFTEM, Kundli. Let's give a round of applause to all our young achievers, guys. Your dedication to ensuring food safety is an inspiration to all of us. These talented individuals have been handpicked by an eminent jury who formed the members of the GDN interview panel. And we would like to share our token of appreciation for all their efforts in shortlisting the best of the best. I would request Suresh Naran sir and Prabhat Nima sir to hand out token of appreciation. And I would like to first start with Shri Deepak Gupta, former UPSC chairman who belongs to the IS batch of 1974. Sure, sir.
Let me take this opportunity to introduce Mr. Deepak Gupta. He retired as secretary. He is 74 batch officer from the administrative cadre. And for him to chair this interview panel was a very small thing. and I wasn't sure that he will agree. But I'm so thankful to him that he generously agreed to chair this panel because he saw value in this program. Sir, I'm really thankful to you for being a part of this program. He was Joint Secretary in the Ministry of Ministry of Health. He was Additional Secretary, then Special Secretary, and then he, of course, retired as the Secretary. And then later on, he became the Chairman of the UPSC. Sir, thank you very much for being a part of this program. Next, we invite Mr. Anup Mudgal, a Foreign Service Officer of 83 batch, former Ambassador of India. He is a biotechnologist, but you speak to him on any subject and he has a response to make. We have worked together. Both of us were together in Brussels, and I enjoyed his company. Thank you, Anup. Next, we invite Dr. Shobha Kulshresht. You see, she's a 2 times master's, she's a 3 times MBA, she's a 3 times PhD. A visiting professor to Harvard University. And I just made a request to her, and she gladly agreed to be a part of and she even mentored them during the 15-day training program. Even Anup did the same thing. Thank you, Shobhaji. Thank you. And finally, Professor Chindi Vasudevappaji. Without him, we would not have taken this program forward. He was the Vice Chancellor of NIFTEM Kundali, and I approached him to be a part of this program, and he also saw a great value in this program, and he agreed to be a part of this. I'm so thankful to him that he made this happen. Thank you, Professor Vasudevappaji. Thank you. With this, we end this.
So we had Dr. Ashutosh Upadhyay and Dr. Vimal Pant from NIFTEM who could not join us today, but we are grateful for their support. And last but not the least, on the GDN interview panel was the one and only Sri Sanjay Dave, former chairperson, Codex Alimentarius Commission, and former advisor FSSI, and most importantly, the advisor and the main catalyst for this entire SFC program. He has truly been the driving force. Ladies and gentlemen, keep the applause going on. He's been truly the driving force. His infectious energy, enthusiasm, sheer drive that has kept this excellent program running. We thank each one of you for your guidance, support, and contribution to make this program a reality. We have certain more people who made this program possible, and we would like to thank those key members of the organizing committee as well. I would request Suresh Narayan sir and Prabhat Nima sir to hand out these trophies as well. We will start with Dr. Narendra Huda, COE, NIFTEM, and convener of the Safe Food Cadre program. He has been instrumental in ensuring that the program keeps running. So, next, I would like to invite Dr. Komal Chauhan, HOD Food Science and Technology, Head CFRA NIFTEM, and convener of the Safe Food Cadre program. Let's hear a huge round of applause for Dr. Komal Chauhan. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Neetu Kumar Taneja, Assistant Professor, Department of Basic and Applied Sciences, NIFTEM, and convener of the Safe Food Cadre Program. A huge round of applause for Dr. Neetu Taneja, the key pillar who's worked tirelessly for this program. Next, I would invite Dr. Shumaila Jan, Assistant Professor, FST, NIFTEM, and Co-Coordinator for SFC. And we have another one which Davisa would want to announce, so I'll hand it over back to him.
And it's now the turn of Dr. Vandana Atri. Please come on stage. Actually, she was the person who worked tirelessly to develop the question bank of 6,000 questions, objective and then subjective. She worked a lot. She's a PhD from CFTRI and used to teach in Shahid Rajguru College. But she was a very important part of this entire program, entire competition. Without her, we would not have been able to take this forward. Thank you so much, Vandana ji.
Thank you so much, sir. I would request you take your seats. We express our heartfelt gratitude to both of you for gracing this occasion with your presence and inspiring our young professionals with their invaluable wisdom. Today is a momentous day for each of these 25 professionals, and I think it would be great to hear directly from them as well. So, being mindful of the time, I'll probably take two candidates who would want to come up and speak about their experience, their insights about the program. So, any volunteers, you could probably raise your hands and we could accordingly. Okay, I see a couple of hands there. So, okay, so we start with Pritika and followed by Shravya. If you could just come forward. Please join me in giving them a warm round of applause. Pritika from QCI.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished delegates and esteemed guests, a pleasant noon to all of you. I'm Pritika, presently working in Quality Council of India. Today, I stand before you all with great enthusiasm and pride as we have celebrating the accession ceremony of a remarkable initiative of NFSI and NIFTEM. Now, I would like to thank for giving me an opportunity to express my views. I would like to speak on behalf of all my academics here that how this competition benefited us. I believe that all my academics would wholeheartedly agree to me when I say that the competition was well structured and it comprised of multiple rounds, as Dave sir was explaining about the rounds of interviews and the process that followed. It comprised of lots of diverse blends of assessments, which progressively tested the participants' knowledge in all aspects of food. Further, the questions and the problem-solving challenges were innovatively designed, which are catering to industry-specific certification, let's say quality, regulatory compliance, and more, which is really the need of the half of the industries. Moreover, the group discussion and the interview with the knowledgeable and experienced panel members who were gave us so much of motivation throughout the interview, also motivating us, bringing us more comfortable on the panel. And we were absolutely fine for the interview, and we were very well prepared because of the upgrade team, those who provided the professional excellence training program. They equipped us very well so that we all prepared in the same level of competence, so that we are all the same competence level, that nobody is less or far. It is like that. This stands as a uniqueness of the competition, which added the credibility even to the competition, because none of the competition I have ever seen, and I guess even none of them could see about the competition, which is mentoring the participants for the program and making them on the same competence level. That stands the credibility to the competition. And further, I would like to say the last program, which was a last years of completion, which was a business leadership enhancement program. Absolutely, it was a very fine program for 15 days, making us learn lots of industry specific regulatory affairs, compliances, quality, safety, market based analysis, etc., which shaped us into a better professional with a broader vision for the food industries. This was the entire structure of the competition, as this how we got benefited throughout it. And with these thoughts, I would like to let you all and the other guests present here who would like to come up, taking up this competition further. And this competition is for the young professionals. So I urge all the guests here present from the food industry to take up this competition, support this competition in the interest of food safety, which will benefit all of us. We, the young professionals today, would be the leaders of tomorrow. I believe in that. Together, let us celebrate the excellence, inspire innovation, and let us bring our nation to a greater heights in terms of food safety. With this, I would like to conclude my thoughts, but without the mention of the advisor of the program, Mr. Sanjay Dave, sir. A special gratitude to you, sir, because you have made it. This day is yours. The success is yours, actually, because it is your initiative. And whatever we succeed in our life, it is because of you, and whatever value you have added to our life, it is exactly for you, sir. We keep remembering you through our professional career because it is such an important value that you have added to our career. Thank you so much, sir. With this, I extend my gratitude to NFSI and FICCI for hosting this prestigious event. Once again, I express my deepest gratitude to all of you. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Next, we have Shravya from FSSAI.
A very good afternoon, everyone. Team NFSI, NIFTEM, industry representatives, and many professors from institutes, and my dear fellow All India Cadre of Safe Food Business Professionals. First of all, thank you so much for providing me this opportunity. It is a great honor to stand before all of you representing this accomplished cadre. Pritika and many of the speakers, they've already given the brief of the structure of this program. So I'll not waste much time. I'll just provide my experience and outcome from this program. So as you all already know, our food technology courses, they're very well structured. However, it does not teach us about international regulatory framework and business related topics and trade policies. So business leadership enhancement program identified what was lacking in our regular curriculum, and they exactly included that and taught us. So which is very important for a student who is starting his professional career or a professional who wants to grow in the company. It is very important for us to upgrade our knowledge. So since we have professors from NIFTEM, I urge you to include international regulatory framework and business related topics in the curriculum. So it will really help us when we start our career in the industry. And further, for freshers, what I believe is they are so very well trained. I wish I got this, BLEP program when I started out my career. It is going to be so easy for them when they join the industry. So industry do not have to spend much time, training them because they are already very well trained. And I'm sure, they'll be ready to take up any challenge and, complete it. So that's what I feel. And lastly, I would like to congratulate my fellow SFC professionals. You all are so amazing and intelligent. Being in the same room as you for 15 days was enriching. I've learned a lot from all of you. And also, my speech would be incomplete if I didn't thank our beloved Dave sir, the brain behind this program. Sir, we couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much. You have structured such a great program, keeping for the entire nation, for life science professionals. So we appreciate your effort. And also I'd like to thank a team NFSI and NIFTEM for coordinating with us throughout the program. Whenever we had any issue, we emailed them, we used to call them. So they have answered us anytime, even during the exams. So they have really helped us throughout. So thank you so much. And let us all be in touch. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Pritika. Thank you, Shravya. And congratulations once again to all the awardees. May your passion for safe food business continue to flourish, and may you inspire countless others to follow in your footsteps. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of this momentous celebration. And once again, let us join together in applauding all these young professionals for their outstanding achievements. I'll now hand it over to Dr. Chonkar to take it forward from here. Thank you.
Thank you, Latika, and congratulations to all the awardees once again. Now, as we think Mr. Suresh Nayan would like to lead now. Thank you, Mr. Nayan, for being part of us. Thank you very much for being here. So now we move on to the our next session, which is a panel discussion. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we move forward, the discussion, we'll have an engaging discussion on the capability enhancement for safe food business. We are fortunate to have Mr. Sanjay Khajuria, President, Sifty FICCI, moderating this session. His vast experience and leadership roles at Nestle India will undoubtedly steer the discussion towards insightful outcomes. So may I request Mr. Khajuria to please come on the dais. Mr. Khajuria brings with him a rich and diverse experience of working with Nestle in various leadership roles. Currently, he serves as Director Corporate Affairs and Sustainability at Nestle India. His role includes leading CSR, stakeholder engagement, government relations, regulatory advocacy, media relations, brand PR, and crisis communications. He has led the impactful community initiatives focused on nutrition awareness, rural development, water, sanitation facilities that touches the lives of over 10 million beneficiaries. Committed to work towards the creating shared value, which is an intersection of Nestle's business and society that integrates sustainability development into business activities. A firm believer that the health of the planet is a shared responsibility. He with his colleagues are working across 4 pillars: climate, packaging, sourcing, and water, that will help accelerate Nestle's sustainability journey. Mr. Khajuria has spearheaded behavior changes campaigns on plastic management and firmly believes that this business can be a force for good. A seasoned professional for over 31 years of exhaustive experience in the food industry, he has held numerous positions of increasing responsibilities in legal and corporate affairs. He has also worked with DSM, PepsiCo, and Nestle SA Switzerland. He's the president of Sifty FICCI that provides institutional support for the development of Indian food industry, Indian food processing industry. Welcome, sir. Now, may I request Mr. Biswajit Datta, Chief Quality Assurance Officer, Mother Dairy Foods and Vegetables Private Limited. Please grace the dais. Please come on the dais. Next, may I request Dr. Manish Pandey, Director and Head, PADD, QCI Quality Council of India. Please honor us on the dais. Dr. Chindi Vasudepa, former Vice Chancellor, NIFTEM. Please request it to grace the dais. Ms. Parna Das Gupta, Director, Regulatory Affairs, Regulatory and Government Affairs, Kellogg's India Private Limited. Please come on the dais. I will now request Mr. Khajuria to lead the discussion. Sir, the floor is yours. Thank you.
I must say, Anirudh, you can create a lot of embarrassment for the panel members by saying things which are much more than what they actually do. Thank you very much. I think it was such a great day I think this is something which Nestle, NFSI, NIFTM particularly use. It was conceived, and many faces I see here. I was telling Dr. Dave, it's an emotional day. When we started, we didn't know how it will pan out. And it did take some time. We initially thought it would take about a year or so, but it took much more than that. We have learned a lot with this experience, and going forward, I think it will be much better and much faster. And congratulations to all 25, some familiar faces. Really happy. And I just wish you all the luck in whatever future endeavors you have and whatever you're doing. Don't stop learning is the only request I can make of you. So we have had a lot of discussion on food safety. I think none of us can really say that food safety is not important. I think for everyone's health, food safety plays a very, very important role. Major contributor to health. And of late, when you pick up the news, and especially many of us who are sitting here and are very keen on food processing and food safety, we do read about adulteration. We do read about, some of the great initiative which the government is doing, particularly in stopping this menace of adulteration. Really, food safety is not one vertical. It starts from the time when the food is produced, food is transported, food is processed, food is taken back to the consumer through distribution channels, and so on and so forth. And therefore, food safety is not one person's responsibility. It's actually a responsibility which all of us, including us as consumers, have to fulfill. Whether it's government doing it or companies doing it, or my colleague from QCI, a lot of work is being done. I think it's a overarching thing, and all of us have to make sure that whatever we are doing in our daily lives, food safety never gets compromised. And because it has multi-stakeholders involved in this, capability building becomes one of the very, very important areas. We have 25 really, I would say, food safety ambassadors today. You are going back to the ecosystem wherever you are working, or you're going to start working on some of these experiences. Please don't keep with yourself, share with many more people. You are the first set of ambassador, and we are hoping that there will be many, many more ambassadors which will come in. The capability building is a small term, but honestly, it needs a lot of resources. When NIFTM puts their effort behind this, it's countless number of hours which are contributed towards development of this program. You would have heard, or 25 of you have already seen it, but we keep hearing about 6,000 questions. Sounds very simple, but ma'am, the way you worked on these 6,000 questions, and we've been looking at the progress, I think every day was a new day. Every day, more questions would come in. And having 6,000 unique questions is a challenge, because many a time duplications can happen, but in this case, that was not even allowed. A government is investing a lot of, I would say, resources in making sure that the ecosystem is food safe, is safe. Industry is investing, and I think industry has to continue to invest. Food safety is a journey, will always remain a journey. What is relevant today may not be relevant tomorrow, and therefore all the work which you are doing today, we have to make sure that we don't stop it. There is not going to be any single day when we say we are now trained on food safety. It will go on forever. And lastly, I think there was one discussion on exports, and very relevant points were made. I think as a country, as the food safety ambassadors, it is a responsibility that when a product leaves the country, it doesn't come back as rejected because we were not aware of the regulations and so on and so forth. So a lot to do, a lot of work has to be done. And therefore, with great pleasure, I welcome all the panel members. As you can see, they're all experts in their areas. I can't say anything about Mr. Vasudevappa because he is not an expert. He's a super expert. He's a guru for all of us, for me for sure. And I think the way you have conducted this program, sir, I think there's huge learning. But that also makes it easier for me to start my questioning. And let me start with you, sir. You have been through this journey of food safety champions or food safety ambassadors, and you have been instrumental in developing programs not now, but for a long, long time. If wishes were horses, what is it that you want to be, want programs to include, and where do you think today the gaps are?
Thank you very much, sir. And I think it's a great honor to be amidst all of you, especially with my very good friend Sanjay Kajuria. And he has been, we have been working together for quite a long time, I would say that. In fact, both maybe at Nestle or maybe at NIFTEM, even in outside spheres. And we had a wonderful discussion and a wonderful exchange of views, ideas, and the business proposition and how to really create the new cadre of people, especially in terms of food safety and quality management. I think that was the I would say the ignition point for me as well. In fact, when Mr. Sanjay Dave came up with this idea, it was there already lingering in my mind. I wanted to see that this program is brought to light. So that was the intention. In fact, I would say here, it was not easy. It was difficult because the resources were limited, though Nestle could give us some hand-holding support, but running the program was not that easy. We expected a huge turnout from the candidates. Maybe we expected about 8,000 or 10,000 people will register for it. So that money would be sufficient to run the whole program. But it happened in a reverse way. It was just hardly about 1,000 people. So that means you understand the costs involved are so high, and to maintain and manage the whole thing became very, very difficult. In fact, I would say equally from the NIFTEM resources, though it is meager, we have contributed. And I should say thanks to the entire team of NIFTEM who have really put in their heart and soul into this program. In fact, my intention was to not only create a cadre of professionals, even to create a degree program, as was said by somebody, I think from FSSI, Shravya was talking about it. And in fact, we wanted to create one sort of a program where it is a degree program on food safety and quality management issues itself. Both bringing in fact, Mr. Dave has already prepared the syllabus even for that. In fact, we wanted to take it forward. I know, it especially with regard to the international standards and the requirements. I think that was something which is really lacking, and the trade and the policies. I think as was said by you, it is already conceived. It is there in the minds of NIFTEM, I would say that. And we wish to see that this is taken forward in the right way, which can really facilitate. In fact, I would like to congratulate all the 25, the food safety professionals who are into the cadre program and who got real sorts of an I would say an identity for you. And I wish all of you all the very best. In fact, my desire is that it is just not stopping at this moment. In fact, we need to take it forward like IAS, like IPS, and also put them onto the newspaper, the first rank holder or the gold medalist and things like that, and also create a sort of a web of things, especially for different states who are the people who are really qualified and who are taking and have taken, I would say, a place forward in their own area. And I wish this program, and in fact, I would say the father of this program is most, of course, all of you know, it is Sanjay Daveji, and who has been after me, maybe many a times after my blood, because he was becoming angry, and I was also becoming a little bit restless, but with the only sole intention of taking the things forward. And of course, Sanjay ji used to be there with me, and he is more a polished approach. But when we deal with the management part of it, I think we had a good and a big program and a big problem as well. But I would say that let us go ahead. As the Vice Chancellor of the institution, I never wanted to leave it halfway. Wanted to take it forward to the logical end and probably plan how to take it forward in the years to come. That's what I thought I should be just appraising you all this. Sorry, I think I have taken a bit of time other than what you asked. But anyway, this is what the whole story speaks of. And I wish NIFTEM would be very proud to take it forward. I request the director of NIFTEM to take it forward in the earnest way because this is a program which is required for the country. It's just not the country, maybe Asia. In fact, we were planning to take it forward to the next level of covering the people from all over Asia, then probably to the entire world. So that is the approach with which we started this program. I wish that will take definitely the deep roots. I know some people need to develop expertise like Professor Dave and probably look forward in a much focused way so that the program becomes a success and you're all recognized by the industry. Basically, the requirement is to get recognition from the industry. This is something which I feel is very, very important. I know in the changing scenario today, the food is just not everything is food. Food has to be of quality and has to have a safety. So that's where I think both the national and the international laws, even the regional laws, probably we may have to create. So they have become very, very important for us in the years to come. We need to look at them because the consumer preferences are changing and they are looking for something new, good, and probably more safe and more healthy. And the millet, this being the International Year of Millet, millets were regarded as the poor man's food today and earlier. And today it has become rich man's food because of the cost. High cost, and poor people may not be able to afford, or they want to sell it at a higher cost so that they gain much better profits. So like that, I think the consumer preference are changing. We need to adjust ourselves with the changed scenario. That apart, I think the global trade again is something which is not in our hands. Because though India declared International Year of Millet, but it is not just for consumption within India, it is for the entire world. So how do you meet the challenge? Hardly there are about 8 or 10 countries which produce millets. Is it possible to meet the challenges and requirements of more than 200 or 300 countries? That is something which is a very difficult task. And probably when we talk of science, when we talk of standards, that too in the international arena, probably you are the ambassadors who should really take forward such of these initiatives. And of course, I know we have been talking about the safety and the quality issues and things like that, which become an essential part of life, which should become. In fact, I know not that everything we produce is food. That was a concept which we had earlier. Today it is different. We look for a quality, a safety issues, and also the expiry dates and all, and then the FSSAI seals. These are all things which have changed the whole scenario. It is just not putting the seal of FSSAI is sufficient. No, it's in terms of its quality, safety, and acceptability, accessibility. These are all issues we need to really look at. And probably, of course, the concerns are again the foodborne diseases and the pesticides and the antibiotic residues. These things are really, maybe even I would say, certain of these things in India we produce in mass because we are a big mass for the whole world. The developed countries, they always look at how to curb the international trade of India, maybe putting in some sort of, the anti, tariff barriers. So bring in that and then probably create a nuisance again. So that means we should be well prepared. It is just not that we are producing a safe food for only export. Even within the country, as was said, I think probably we need to look at this and take care of the quality concerns. I don't agree or endorse the view of that the quality standards for within India should be different from what is outside, what is done for outside. After all, they are also people and we are also human beings. We need to understand that, maintain strict quality regulations. That becomes very, very important. And I wish the whole program is taken forward in that perspective. And request once again, Nestle to be the big leader, big brother for NIFTEM and take it forward in the right earnest way. Thank you.
Thanks as always. Very comprehensive. I think you very rightly pointed out whether it's for export or for domestic use, it has to be very safe. I think the one of the discussion which we had was that the 25 here, these food safety ambassadors, they need to understand the regulations and guidelines of those countries so that we don't miss out on something which is important. But that the way you explained, I I think brings out very clearly that without food safety, the product shouldn't be sold in the market at all. If it's not safe, it is not meant to be consumed. Food industry takes a lot of action on this, as you know, sir. Yes. Right from the time when the product is brought into the factories, manufacturing locations, till it is sold and so on and so forth. And I know many a times when industry discusses, we also discuss that we need food safety champions at all levels. It's not only a few people sitting in the PO department. Who better than Parna, who has huge experience on food safety and actually developing people in this, to talk about what sort of gaps you find, Parna, and how do you think we can plug those gaps?
Thanks, Sanjay. Once again, we cannot start without congratulating the 25 cadres today. I think, hello? Yeah. I agree with, a lot of speakers before this also mentioned this, that this was one of its kind. It has never been heard, and I really agree with some of the speakers that maybe such a program, do not exist anywhere, at least in our part of the globe, in the South Asian part. So amazing. I was part of the business leadership enhancement program as well. It was such a, I can't tell you, Sanjay and my colleagues on the dais, like it was such an experience to just face them, these 25 young, bright, starry-eyed, bubbling with expectations and enthusiasm to go forward. It was amazing. And obviously you can imagine that while these were 25, even up to the 50th may not have been very much behind them. So, but what is the way that industry gets to know them? I think that is one of the biggest challenge that we have. Rightly pointed out by Mr. Dave, even in the concept note that we see that what he found out was that what he really started with the understanding is there is so many institutions in the country, but there are very few, focused, career related discussions or career planning, etc., being really, given by some, maybe by very few premier institutions. Others really are not working on that side. What I felt, as a personal experience, I can say that I have, in my this 32 years of career, I have given exposure and given opportunity in each phase of my career to freshers and even people who have been on long sabbaticals, who hadn't worked in food industry before that. Every stage, I have given opportunity to such people, and none of them failed. But what they had to struggle, they had to give extra effort towards coming up to speed with the others in their peers. So hence at every time, whenever such an event happened, every time I felt that I wished there was a small diploma or a certificate course where they could just run through. Particularly the gap I see is in understanding external environment, what is happening across globe in food sector. They are brilliant in their food technology part. But understanding what's happening, the moment they join an industry, they start hearing about WTO, Codex, JACFA, EPR, carbon credit, everything they start hearing, but hardly any knowledge about it. So it's so important to make the people coming out of institutions at that stage. While this program is something that is selecting the best of the best, but even preparing them, I think if they are prepared that way, I think, sir, your vision of 8,000, 10,000 people appearing for this will also increase, because many of them today maybe thinking that I will not be able to compete. I don't know so much. So that also could be a hindrance. I don't know, but that could be one of the hindrance. So I think along with their, academics, there has to be parallelly running lot of course, a lot of interactions, exchanges, visiting experts from industry is so very important to give them a flavor of what's happened on the ground on the industry. Case studies, so that will actually prepare them for the joining industry at a later phase. The other thing I have seen is, what I have many a times felt is, the internship that, in all institutions, they do some internship at one point of time, both their BTech and MTech level. But what I have seen is the internship, most of the times, remain at a very superficial level, always not very well thought of the topic, and they have to be practical, real-time projects that, we as industry need to nurture them with. So maybe many a times we don't spare that much time for them in the when they do the internship. Many a times I have heard that, I don't know if I'm right, but just few things I have heard that many a times the candidates themselves go looking for finding a company who will provide them internship, etc. I think there is a lot that we as industry can do there to help them. Just one or two suggestions I have in mind, if you will allow me. I think it's high time that industry comes together to do this. And who else other than industry association like FICCI and others who can really help them? They can be the bridge between the academic institutions and industry in this case. There could be a proper program running under, industry associations like FICCI, where, they can run, the business development, business leadership, 15-day program that they went through. I'm not expecting that extensive one, but some of them, as sir also pointed out, like talk about trade barriers, the external environment, what's happening, what is WHO doing, why they are doing, what are the concerns today in food sector. About the external environment, I think they can always run some programs like that in help with the institutions. They can also be, I think they can, association can really work on a roster of experts from industry who will commit their time to association. Accordingly, association can, coordinate with the institutions to, allow them to go and be guest speakers according to their time that they have committed. So they can maintain a roster from the industry who are willing to do this. And I think that is very, very important, that industry interaction with the candidates, that will help them even competing for such programs. Of course, I agree fully with all of you that this program needs to be taken forward, and whatever we as industry, as academics, institutions, we need to do to take this forward. This is one of its kind. The other, another suggestion which I had was, some career counseling. I know FICCI does some of it, but I think it needs to be done at a much more rigorous level. And even association like FICCI can take it up. There could be some career counseling programs, because many a times I have felt that when they're coming out of food engineering or food technology, engineering still they have some idea, but food technology, most of them, they don't even know about all the career options that they have. Most of them think they will work as product development in R&D. The only thing comes to their mind is R&D, but there is so many avenues today. Being from regulatory, I can talk about regulatory. And I have seen all those who have joined regulatory, even without knowing it, have loved the role, because there is so much challenge in this field. But when they are planning their career, when they are in the institution, they are not aware of these avenues. So some sort of career counseling also is, I think, very robust, organized career counseling needs to be done. They should know that where they can go to get this career counseling. Always the institutions may not be able to do that. So that is one thing. And also the last thing that I would say is the way the world is changing today. Keep aside digitalization, even otherwise, even when you talk about food safety, food technology, it is changing so fast. I think even faculty refresher courses are very, very important. There has to be, very robust such programs in place where the faculties undergo refresher courses. So these were few of my suggestions.
Thanks a lot, Parna. Your experience comes out very clearly. So, Dr. Dave, while you are not here, you are congratulated many times. Three of us spoke and we all spoke about you. you were missing, but on behalf of the panel here, we would like to congratulate you again for the great day. And we were just discussing that this was a dream. It actually started as a dream. Finally, we see and makes us believe that miracles can happen and dreams come true. So thanks for reaffirming our faith in dreams becoming and miracles coming down.
Despite a lot of hiccups.
Despite a lot of hiccups. So I think Parnav has put some very useful points. Anirudh would remember and Hemant would remember that in SIFTI meetings, we have many times discussed the concept of finishing school. And what Dr. Dave has been able to do is much bigger in scale. But the concept really is that, when you go outside, you are not seen bound by vertical, which you have studied, and the world is much bigger. I think very useful. Okay, so Mr. Dave didn't do it, the team did it. Okay.
But no one in this team, I think, can manage Mr. Dave's energy level.
That
and the power to dream. No one has that.
And if I could just add the power of persuasion. I think there are, in fact, at some stage, we will organize a special lecture on few of the things which we admire you for. How do you get that?
Yeah,
we all need to learn.
Case studies on persuasion.
In fact, I would say here, Mr. Dave, during the second COVID phase, he got into COVID. In fact, he was not able to breathe properly. He was finding it even so difficult to come. And even with that difficulty, he was talking to me and he was so much concerned because, he wanted it to be a successful venture. That's how I think, whatever little mentoring and, support which I could really muster at NIFTEM and gather and put it into the whole program, we did it. And that's the reason why I say the father of this program is only Mr. Dave.
So, jokes apart, Dr. Dave, every team needs a leader. And I think you led the team extremely well. So, compliments. The other thing, two points which resonate with me, and I'm sure it will resonate with everyone here. I think we now need a little bit of advancement the way we are doing things. Your idea of industry association creating a roster is very good. Maybe we create a website because situation is changing. So Hemant and Anirudh, maybe we need to discuss this in more detail. End of the day, I think we are all looking at thousands of food safety officers. 25 we see here today, but this needs to be multiplied by maybe 1,000 more if we really want to do that. Now, I have the same question for you. NIFTEM and many universities provide knowledge on food safety, but there are still, firstly, are there any gaps between what you expect from the candidates who come in and join? And if there are, how do you think we can plug those?
Hello. Good afternoon. I'm Bishwajit Datta. As you can see, I am thanks to Fiki and to be invited here and ordered to be in the panel. I must congratulate the 25 change agent for food safety, which the team is discussed here. Yes, the question if I have to answer the question, I must make the scenario which I started. I am basic dairy technologist. I started my career in 1989 in the dairy under Amul, and then I worked here in NDDB Dairy Services, now in Mother Dairy. So when I started my career, the situation was same. Didn't know much about what dairy was doing, and only want to be a production person. Quality at that time nobody was so much very, motivated or interested to go to the quality, and even the regulatory was not very much prevalent. Then the way we saw the dairy, it was a manually run dairy mainly. If you say the pasteurizer and other, mostly manually run. Slowly, we went into the half loop automation and then full loop automation, and the logic and controls are built in for the certain CCPs and parameters. Some double check, nowadays it is full loop automation is available, and many of the modern dairies like Mother Dairy, Amul, Nestle, as far as I know, are running for the quality and food safety controls and authorization. Now, what I felt in my career, there are lot many things in the industry. People feel that this should also be, for example, environment ETP. So it has been linked to the dairy, milk solids, cost, etc. Nowadays, it has come again the PWM rules. So when you say PWM rules, people, I'm not sure there is for other courses, but in dairy technology courses, I came across that they have incorporated quality and food safety module, and that talks about all the regulatory requirement, food safety, HACCP, codex, and various standards and quality and food safety. So still, we feel there are a lot of gap, and that gap is obvious because institutes are working in their with their objective, and organization is working with the objective to match with the requirement of the consumers every day and the regulatory requirement. So what I feel, more engagement, more research, because institutes, people when doing their masters and PhD, they are doing research, even genuine research they are doing. But I feel if that can be aligned with the industry requirement, industry can be on their schedule and plan and on board. What are your requirement for the modern perspective, and so that some research can be carried out by the students under the guidance of the professors and experts, and industry can also be benefited. And in that case, industry would not mind to carry out or some funding if this genuine research is coming out. Another thing, there are not only now dairy field or any manufacturing field is not only the technology, chemistry, biochemistry, microbiology, and not now IT has entered into in a very huge manner. Now digitization, this helps to the monitoring and control, even in the remote monitoring and control of the processes and the products. So this area, lot many private organizations are coming up, but lot many work has to be done industry across pan India, because some people are at some level, some people are at different level. Third thing is the testing and analysis. Testing and analysis, either you go for BIS or FSSI, their test methods, but there are lot many tests are being done in the industry for their own requirement. Sometimes it is required to be validated, verified. If some industry and if some institutes or so universities are helping them, this will be very helpful to the industry. Not last but not the least, I feel the awareness program to the milk handlers. See, because I am talking mostly about milk, because milk, after milking till it reaches to the processing plant, around 4 hours, it is handled by the people, stakeholders, their knowledge and skill need to be upgraded very often. It's not only the top or the food safety team leader or the food safety team or plant personnel. By the time it reaches to the plant, it may have got the damages in many aspects. And another thing is the milk and milk product or food product handling in the market, consumers awareness. These are the things I feel if the universities or course curriculum can be give some hint or some exposure to the students, they will be more useful and they'll catch the other thing in the industry very fast. Thank you.
That's extremely useful. What I take from you is one is the collective efforts rather than one company doing it. Really, the other is the research has to be connected to the real industry need, and we should work together, the academia, industry. I like the awareness program. I think food safety awareness needs to be really scaled up to the next level. We have the tools now, and many organizations do it, but it needs to be taken further. And you spoke about testing and analysis, and who better person than Mr. Pandey to talk about the great work which QCI is doing. So, Mr. Pandey, if you could just take us through some of the work which you are doing on hygiene rating, on safety, NABL accreditation, and so on and so forth.
Right. So good afternoon to you all. Let me first start by thanking FICCI, specifically Mr. Dave, to have QCI here. As a testimony to the process that we have been speaking about, the young professionals and the cadre that you have to develop, I have the pleasure to announce that Pritika works with the Quality Council and directly reports to me. And it is to the credit of the process that I can give her anything and get the things that I desire without, too much getting involved into the process. The beauty of such systems, as we say, is a national thing, which Pritika also announced very proudly. But when Quality Council comes, we talk about things which are global through, again, processes which are well laid down. And I think so the next step, which the esteemed panel, which has come out with these 25 after processing 1,000 application, is to consider it to be put on a personal certification map, which we talk as ISO 17024, which is a system which recognizes and opens the value of the certificate to about 110 odd countries, because then the certificate and the process would be understood by all who understands the ISO system. That is point one. The point two, which also comes out from the previous speaker about, certain processes which are very new and it is not under the ASTM or other such kind of a systems. When you talk about test reports, I think so the best way, and most of you would understand, that if a system or something that you are uniquely developing for testing, it could always be given to an accreditation body, and in this case it is the NABL, which does the 17025, and could be also any other accreditation body that does testing, to get itself approved and then have an accreditation for the similar test that is not present or that has not been kind of invented or discovered till date. So these are two things as a response to what is the subject matter of this event. Now let me talk about the Quality Council of India. Quality Council of India is an independent autonomous body in all rights, because we have heard autonomous in government, which ends up with a file goes to the minister, but in our case it doesn't happen. And the reason why it doesn't happen is because we, as the national accreditation body, also does inspections, assessments of a lot of government facilities. And if you start reporting there, or if there is a semblance of us reporting to the government, it becomes a directly case of conflict of interest, and therefore we are truly autonomous. Now let us talk about quality as the QCI things. While we are the national accreditation body, which houses about 5 accreditation board, namely NABCB, NABL, NABET, NABH, and NBQP. I'm not going to get into expanding the acronym, but the idea is that we cover all the sectors. I am a part of the special projects group, which is the project analysis division, which is focused on confirmatory assessment systems. Now, what we do is we either talk to the stakeholders, or the stakeholders or specifiers come to us either to induce quality or to strengthen quality where it is already there. The way we handle it is that we don't do a kind of a piecemeal part of a quality. And now I'll talk about the food initiatives that we do. So when we talk about food safety and things like that, so the division starts right from the raw material and moves towards, the secondary, the primary, secondary, tertiary, and other processes, wherein we say that if the raw materials have an issue, then your production system can't help cleaning them out. Just as a deviation, we also handle some of these traditional codified systems of medicine, for example, the Ayurveda. What we have told the ministry is that if your medicinal plant raw materials are not sorted, it will have an impact upon the efficacy of your Ayush formulation. And in turn, it gives a bad name to Ayurveda because the formulations are not up to the mark. So if the formulations doesn't have the required efficacy, you can talk about your systems as much as loud you can, but if the quality lacks, you don't make an impression. Now, moving forward also again, is that when I talk about again the Quality Council in terms of its global footprints, and that is the reason why we kind of, are attached to the Ministry of Commerce, is that we want to do something which helps to negate the idea, and the previous speaker has spoken about not having double standards. Now, the idea is to have one standard, and a standard which meets not only the domestic, regulatory requirements, but also matches the international, importing country requirements. And this is the reason why we also have an idea about, the businesses not getting into an audit fatigue mode, which means that, someday a BRC is coming, the other day an FSSC is coming, and then, you have multiple people coming and, you need to show compliance as per the buyer requirements. So, understanding this issue, what Quality Council has done is that we started with agriculture. We have a INDAGAP, which is India Good Agricultural Practices. At a point of time, and again, that's the persuasive streak in Mr. Dave, is that he told Manish, enough of all this, demo plots and INDAGAP, let us do something which shows our credibility in terms of benchmarking the local, national, compliance criteria to something global. And we did it. So that means that an Indian farmer who wants to sell into a European or an American retail chain earlier had to spend out, euro or dollar money to get his certification in place. March 31st, we had this benchmarking done. And when I talk about benchmarking, it not only means the technical criteria meets, it also means that your assessment systems are at par with the international systems, which means that you have a certification body. The certification bodies has, auditors which understand how to audit. They also understand the subject knowledge, and then they do the reporting as would be deemed by any international systems. So when we talk in terms of the Quality Council's approach towards quality, it is all-encompassing. We, we take pride in doing a root cause analysis before getting into some systems. We are also not an organization which decides X number of schemes just because we are a part of the government. We do it strictly as per stakeholders' requirement. We try to compress and kind of, converge a lot of such activities so that at the end of the day, the businesses don't get into the audit fatigue thing. And of course, then something that we also want to do is to take government into confidence so that, public procurement and things like that makes this as a prerequisite so that, there is a value proposition to anybody who wants to get it. And then there are international markets which would respect and, start procuring and then give that value to everyone. I think so, sir. I've done my thing and
thank you. Thank you so much. Very clear. I'm sure all of you know about QCI. The only request I would make is read more because this is where the big difference will arise. Not many of us actually, sir, look at what QCI does and how we can improve and how we can look at areas where industries and academia can all work together. I remember many years back attending a panel discussion where you had invited industry to really talk about industry expectation from quality as far as QCI is concerned. we have 5 minutes, and I'll be failing in my duty if I don't give you one of the 25 an opportunity to ask a question to the panel.
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Are you on?
Sir, I'm Dr. Jagdish Shivhari, professor and ex-scientist ISRO. Sir, I have two questions, one technical and another non-technical. So first question, what specific innovation practices and smart decision technologies are being used by the Indian safe food industries? And second, non-technical question, just for curiosity, it is said that the thinking, nature, and behavior of human being depends on food intakes. So my question, is it possible to prepare an artificial intelligence based scientific food which can help to reduce the level of negative mentality in the people?
Okay. I don't know whether this panel would be equipped to.
I will do that, sir.
The
If you allow.
second question?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I know as an ISRO background, you would have such technical questions to the panel. But if you understand, I won't say as a Indian background in terms of what is in your mind is what you speak. If you talk about food, food actually comes out of a production system. And when you talk about production systems, if the production systems are taken care of well, the food that is coming out will also be well in terms of the ingestion and the kind of effect it does. And this is where I will sell the concept which Mr. Dave sells me often. When you talk about the good agricultural practices system, which a producer should have it in place, it talks about, increasing fertility through biological means and not by violence in the soil by putting chemical pesticides and things like that. Now, if you have done the fertility part well from a biological system, I think so the food comes out also quite organic in the sense it is. And the one who intakes such kinds of food will have a good mental and physical health. I think so I've answered.
I think it's.
I'll add to that. I know. It's yes, an important question. In fact, let's also believe that food quality is not decided by artificial intelligence. Forget. Whatever may be the development that has taken place in artificial intelligence, maybe in space you use a lot of it. But here, it is the producer, the farmer. Unless we maybe educate them or build their capacity, see, why the food gets spoiled? It's because maybe the pesticide residues or maybe the antibiotics which are being used. So, or I would say even the adulterants and the mixing and the processing and all that. These are the influencing factors for the food quality, not AI. AI is only a facilitation process. It helps you to maintain the quality through the value chain management. Absolutely, let us not link AI with the food quality and the human behavior with that. So this is what I thought. I hope you have understood that.
The first one is said.
I just close the second one. I hope. Sorry for interruption. Are we using the HACCP concept developed by NASA for food safety?
Yeah. Very much.
Included. Good.
Okay, so the only comment on second question is human intelligence has given you the answer which you were expecting from artificial intelligence.
Yeah. Can you repeat your first question, sir?
What specific innovation practices and smart decision technologies are being used by the Indian safe food industries?
Okay, I, as a common dairy person, I'll just try to because it is beyond my subject knowledge. But yes, I just mentioned when we started our journey from manual to half loop and then full loop, then came to the PLC. So programmable logic control, PLC based, maybe Oracle 9i when I was working at the, and now SAP, you can understand. I can give one example. There are so many parameters very critical when we are receive a raw milk tanker. Now, if I say the temperature should not be go beyond 5 degrees centigrade in the receiving level. Now, 5 degree to 7 degree, you have a discretion if you want to have it immediate processing. Now there is a program. At the time the program was that, okay, the operator or the technical officer at the place, he was asked, do you want to save this? Because temperature was logged in automatically, the auto sampler was there. So yes, he saved it. Now once he saved it, no pump will operate to unload that tanker. He has to move to the higher up, because I have saved a tanker which was needed. The temperature was beyond 5 degree. It was 6 or 7. So that sort of logic we used to use. Now the other thing, innovation, you said there are a lot many innovation is coming up, and now remote sensing for monitoring the quality and the temperature of milk at various levels, even at the village level, bulk milk cooling level, that is available. People are using all those things. I cannot name the technology. Thank you.
Yes, thanks a lot. I know we're running out of time, but I would request one of the 25 speak after that, if you allow.
Okay.
Who will volunteer?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I have a question similar to new technologies, but as we are a cadre for the future, what elements do you see in such training programs that prepare us for the future technologies as well? Because we had so many elements discussed during the BLEP program as well, and now we are looking at a lot of discussions around artificial intelligence, but also sustainability. So food safety playing an important role in food security. What elements do you see in such program and the future professionals that they should know or be aware of to be able to meet the problems for the future, and especially with respect to innovation?
Pandey, would you like?
See, I think so. One thing which is becoming a buzzword is sustainability. You need to understand all the dimensions of sustainability, right from the production part, which is the farm, till the level of processing that you do. Data analytics is again something which will be very useful, because what the gentleman spoke about, doing the AI. So I think so there would be a lot of algorithms which will talk about how a particular food behaves in a particular circumstances in terms of either production, processing, and also about human consumption, and there would be a lot of reports. I think so a related part is wellness, and everything would dovetail to the wellness, which will again depend upon a lot of the AI computations. So I think so sustainability, data analytics is something that you should be hands-on, and because that is where the action would be there.
It's very fair to say, because this is what you have been reading also. This will become part of course curriculums, sustainability, right from the way the product is manufactured till we consume and after. So I think it's going to be the full chain, and every step of the chain you're already working on. So I think it's very relevant. Yes, sir.
सर, मैं प्रभाकर कुमार अवस्थी, एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर ज्योग्राफी। मैं ये जानना चाहता हूं कि क्या इस समय जिसमें इंडिया G20 की प्रेसिडेंसी कर रहा है, फूड सेफ्टी का मुद्दा इस फोरम पर उठाया जाना कितना उचित होगा?
It is a part of global. So food safety as a topic has been discussed at all levels for decades now. So it is appropriate, जैसे आपने बोला, ये नहीं कि ये जरूरियात है, ये नेसेसिटी है फूड सेफ्टी पे बात करना। दवे साहब कह रहे हैं ये ऑलरेडी डिस्कस हो चुका। अगर आपको डेलिब्रेशन का कुछ चाहिए तो मुझे लगता है सब वेबसाइट पे मिल जाता होगा।
Yeah, so a huge event under G20 banner, a huge event was organized just a week back,
last
week, which was called Global Regulators Summit. and regulators from almost 12 countries were invited there, and there were 42 countries. Okay, I'm so sorry. So 42 countries were present there, and extensive technical sessions were held. I think there were 14 or 15 technical
It was
sessions.
over 2 days.
Two-day event, 14, 15 technical sessions were held throughout 2 days. And extensive engagement with the regulators from all over the world. And we had, not only regulators, we had even, academicians and other
And
scientific
there were business
experts,
panels.
business panels, so CEOs panels. So I think that was a very good effort put under the G20 banner on food safety and food regulation.
Is there any way you can get details on that?
It's on
I
the
haven't seen in
website,
the.
I guess.
Maybe we can send you details of the website.
It's on
Sir,
the FSSAI website.
FCCI website it's available. And in fact, I would even say here, it is just not for G20, it is for the entire population, entire world population. So that way, I think food safety is no exception for only G20s. So we need to be complying with all the regulatory requirements regime and the framework. That's very important.
So with this, yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody on the dais, for this opportunity. I just wanted to ask a little question, a small question. What is the vision or objective the industry, the food industry, or the organization such as FICCI has to promote the safe food cadre in the upcoming years or the future years?
I
What is
think
the vision
very,
you're
very
having?
relevant question. I think we all discussed this. Really, this is everyone's responsibility. So the value chain and the stakeholders all have to get together. What you all have done, all 25 of you have done, and many more who participated in this, you have just started the journey. And we are all so excited, and I can talk on behalf of everyone who is sitting here, that we do not want this journey to close here with U25. We want to take it to industry association. We want to create groups which will actually look at it. We want to bring in industry back on the table to say what is it industry can do. QCI is here today, and NIFTEM is here today, and more universities will come in. Honestly, if I were to have a wish list on the cadre, I think this has to be a mass movement. This cannot be 25, 50, 100. It should be tens of thousands. Right from the time we produce our crops till the time we consume and after. I think everywhere food safety should play a big role. I'm sure you are aware of the data. It is expected that by 2030, 150 to 170 million diseases will be foodborne. This is one thing which impacts all of us. And if we don't participate in this journey, like the journey of sustainability, I think we are just closing our eyes to something which is that important. So believe you us, I'm not saying only the panel, this journey is not going to close. You will see more and more, and you please participate more and more. Every one of you actually should have another 100 food safety cadre bringing in. Talk about it. Talk about your experiences. If there are no questions, I am cognizant of the fact that after some time I'll be told stop. So, apni izzat apne haath mein hai. Before that message comes in, let me thank everyone on the panel. What a great inputs which have come in. I have noted quite a few, and I'm sure Anirudh has noted quite a few.
Yes.
And we will take it forward.
Thank you very much, sir. May I request Mr. Kajuria to please hand over an appreciation of token to each of the panelists, please. Mr. Biswajit Datta. Thank you for taking time out and for your contribution. Thank you very much. Dr. Chindi Vasudepa. Thank you very much, sir. We are really happy that you could take out time and coming all the way for this function. Thank you so much. Dr. Manish Pandey, Director, QCI. Thank you so much, sir. Miss Parna. It sounds as a more as a home affair. So Parna is so much part of the whole event and the FICCI. Thank you so much, sir. With this, I thank all the panelists. He's the safety president. So. We are all. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir. For a photograph. Sorry. No, sir. Sir, can we please? We'll announce for a photograph later. We have that in mind. We have that in program, sir. Thank you. Now, may I request Mr. Jagdeep Marahar, Managing Director, Nestle R&D Center, to come on the dais and deliver the closing remark and vote of thanks. As you know, Mr. Jagdeep has over 25 years of experience in various leadership roles with Nestle globally and within India in managing operations and research and development across many food categories. He has also served on the board of studies of food technology for Jawaharlal Nehru Technical University in Kakinada and Vignan University as well. He is the member of CSIR Domain Expert Committee for Mission Mode Project for Millets. He is a food technologist holding master's degree in food technology from CFTRI Mysore and bachelor's degree from PAU Ludhiana. He is a university gold medalist from both the institutes and additionally holds a diploma of expertise in chocolate and confectionery manufacture from JDS Solingen, Germany. I know personally Jagdeep because I have been dependent heavily on him whenever it comes to anything on chocolate. So if you know Munch and Kit Kat, it's all Jagdeep. Jagdeep, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Anirudh. I know I'm between you, lunch, and selfie with Dave Saab, so it's a difficult time to be here. Dear esteemed guests, distinguished colleagues, cadre professionals, ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege and honor for me to stand here on this momentous occasion. And I call this momentous because this is something which has been conceived with a lot of hard work, a lot of effort to get us here at this particular stage. As they say, proverbially there is a village which is needed to raise a child. There is almost a village which was needed to get this event underway, and it would only be right to thank all the stakeholders who have played their part to make this happen, without which it wouldn't have been possible. Food, or rather safe food, nourishes our body, and dreams nourish our soul. And I think where we are today is a true epitome of these two phrases, with someone who has triggered his dream to enable this to happen. I mean, Dr. Dave, in a very modest way, said that this was just an afterthought, that it happened, but it would not have taken place without his drive, without his passion and perseverance to enable us all to come here today. So a big round of applause for Shri Dave. I mean, he brings in a very wide range of experience, network around. I mean, having worked in Codex, but also beyond as an advisor to FSSAI. And I think he didn't leave any of the strings out while ensuring that we could do this entire event successfully. Your vision, sir, single-minded focus, I think has been an inspiration for all of us here. And we are truly grateful for all the contributions. I would like to extend a big thanks to all the 25 participants. The participants who could make it here, I think there was a much wider pool before who participated in the initial screening phases around. Your dedication, hard work, and also ability to come out of your normal routines to get through with this program has been inspiring, instrumental in taking this program forward. So thanks a lot for all the efforts to be a part of this particular ceremony today, but also be a part of the program. I would like to extend my thanks to our partners, NIFTEM. And NIFTEM have been an unwavering partner across during this whole program in terms of supporting and collaborating, starting from Dr. Chindi Vasudevappa, who has been another very passionate driver for this program, understanding that this was a gap that we needed to cover in terms of really driving our food ecosystem forward. So a big thanks to you, sir. Our current director of NIFTEM, Dr. P.K. Nima, thanks a lot for taking the mental forward. And I would also like to cover Dr. J.S. Rana, Dr. Komal Chauhan, Dr. Neetu Taneja, Dr. Narendra Huda, Dr. Shomila Jan, and then many others from the faculty who have been there with us throughout this journey. This is a unique program, and the design of this program, as Mr. Dave made, was almost like a Sanjeevani Booty. It left an influence or a mark on everyone who was touched with this. Whether it was the group of people who appeared for the initial screening part, or the group which was shortlisted through the second phase, which was the GD, going through the entire mentorship program, I'm sure that everyone will take something out of this. But a very special individual who helped to design the first phase, Dr. Vandana Athri, a big thanks for going through plethora of questions, what we collected from multiple sources, and designing a test where we could get the right set of skill sets in. I would also like to express a big thanks to the team from our partners in the mentoring program, Upgrad. Again, I think it made the program very unique to bring in the soft skills that are super critical in driving a very scientific and a tricky subject of food safety, because that is an area where we need to influence. We need to influence, and we need to take people together to make sure that they are able to not only understand, but also be passionate about this particular subject. Let me thank our distinguished group discussion and the interview panel. That was the second phase of the project, which comprised of Mr. Deepak Gupta, the former chairman of UPSC, Mr. Anup Mudgal, former ambassador of India, Dr. Shobha Kulshrestha, visiting professor of Harvard University, Dr. Ashutosh Upadhyay and Dr. Vimal Pant from the NIFTEM team, but more so Mr. Dave and Dr. Chindi Vasudevappa in the panel as well, to make sure that we were able to select the best of the lot. The third part of the program, the Business Leadership Enhancement Program, saw eminent speakers and personalities from various fields, and with an international representation of also the erstwhile Codex chairperson. I think we could not have really asked for anyone better to be able to give the right sort of inputs in terms of understanding the food ecosystem. And I would like to thank each one of them for making this an invaluable experience for all the participants. A program of this magnitude requires resources, it requires commitment of time and efforts. And it could not have been done alone. It could not have been done alone by NFSI. It could not have been done alone by NIFTEM or other participants. And let me put on record the contributions from the leading food industry players here, namely PepsiCo, Kellogg's, Coca-Cola, IFF, ITC, Yakult, and Reliance, who all came together with the Nestle Food Safety Institute to contribute to this noble cause. Even more important were the contributions in terms of time that happened during the BLEP program. And I would like to specifically call out the industry stalwarts who invested their time in this event. Mr. Shaminder Singh, who is head of food safety and regulatory affairs at PepsiCo. Mrs. Parna Dasgupta, head of food safety regulatory affairs at Kellogg's. Mr. Rajender Dobrial, Director, Scientific Regulatory at Coca-Cola. Ms. Millie Bhattacharya, Senior Manager, Scientific Regulatory at Coca-Cola India. And Mr. K.K. Joshi, Head of Food Safety Regulatory Affairs at ITC India as well. The final accession ceremony that you witnessed today would not have been possible without the efforts of entire organizing team at FICCI, who brought us all together. I would like to put on record our sincere thanks to Mr. Hemant Seth, Senior Director FICCI, Dr. Anirudh Chonkar, Consultant Regulatory Affairs, SIFTI FICCI, along with his team, Ms. Varsha Yadav, Sakshi Sani, and Priya Wilson, who did an outstanding job to organize this particular event. A big round of applause for them, please. The distinguished panel of the think tank discussion on capability building and enhancement. Thank you for your valuable insights, which we as industry together will work towards in terms of improving the food safety part. There's a lot more work to be done. There is a lot of ground to be covered, but I am sure that the thoughts that you placed in would inspire us to move forward. Let me thank the entire team at Nestle India, especially Mr. Suresh Narayanan, our Chairman and Managing Director, and Mr. Sanjay Kajuria, Director Corporate Affairs and Sustainability, who have very passionately inspired us at the Nestle Food Safety Institute that this is a work which goes beyond business. This is a work for the society, for the community, for the industry that we need to take forward. And I think that is an approach which has really built up a lot of spirit within the team to take various initiatives. Last but not the least, it is my team from Nestle Food Safety Institute. It's Sumit here, Latika, Shalu, and the extended team, I mean, along with my colleagues who are here, who have been instrumental in driving this entire event and the activity over the past few years very purposefully and diligently to make sure that this event could happen. I would like to again specifically acknowledge the contribution of one of our ex-colleagues who retired end of last year, Dr. S.N. Bhatt, who together with Mr. Dave and the team passionately drove this event forward. I remember both of them doing road shows, going to different institutes to promote this particular event, to make sure that there was enough awareness, considering this was the first batch that we were taking forward. In conclusion, let me congratulate our 25 professionals who have had their accession ceremony today for your outstanding achievements. You deserve every bit of recognition that you received today. And to quote Mahatma Gandhi, The future depends on what we do in the present. It's an area where we need to pick up. Food safety is something where we need multipliers, and we need the seeds. I do hope each one of you would take this responsibility of being a seed to propagate the knowledge, the know-how beyond, the immediate ecosystem that it is there. Let me wish you all the very best in your future endeavors, and I'm sure that you will continue to make us proud. Thank you for your presence here today and your continued support and engagement. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jagdeep, for nicely summing up. Now is the time for lunch. Yes. So the guests are invited in the lounge for the lunch, and the awardees may please stay back for the selfies and the round of photographs or group photographs, please. Thank you very much for coming.